everybody, and happy St. Patrick's Day to you. Hope you enjoyed this fantastic day we had today. It was one of the warmest St. Patrick's Day days on record. Not as warm as it was 10 years ago, but still definitely way, way above the average. And what a long way we've come since last weekend. We had snow and cold last weekend. Temperatures over the weekend were only in the 20s on Saturday and 30s on Sunday. But then we had a big change at the very start of the work week with highs in the mid-50s Monday and Tuesday. We did 68 yesterday. We did 71 today. Hey, that's 24 degrees warmer than the average. Not quite the plus 30 we put up back on Sunday the 6th, but just a very nice turnaround. March is doing March things of late. You can have it all in March. You can have cold and snow, and you can have some unseasonable warmth, and things are starting to bloom here and there as well. As I've been talking about this week, this is the 10-year anniversary of the warmest St. Patrick's Day on record in the middle of that crazy warm March of 2012. We had 77. Today, I believe, was the third warmest 17th of March on record for our area, with a high this afternoon, again, of 71. Nice and clear out there this evening to check out the rising full moon. Technically full tomorrow morning, but close enough tonight. The full moon in March is oftentimes referred to as the worm moon, and it'll be nice and bright up there for most of the night. Just a few high clouds filtering in later on. And with a clear sky this evening, we have another pretty decent space station flyby. Now, this one lasts a little longer than last evening's, but it's not quite as high and bright in the sky. It'll reach a maximum of about 34 degrees in elevation above the horizon. This is visible for 5 minutes between 8:20 and 8:25 this evening. I'll put in another reminder on social media. This appears in the west sky, disappears in the west-northwest sky. Just a reminder, when you look up, the space station doesn't blink. If you see something flying by that's blinking, that's an airplane. The space station doesn't blink. It looks like just a fast-moving star almost, but it is, in fact, the International Space Station with astronauts aboard. In the meantime, back here on Earth, things are going to be quiet here locally tonight and across a lot of the eastern U.S. with a few showers up into parts of New England. The focus for most of the night will be out in the middle of the country with a pretty decent threat for some hail and wind-producing storms this evening into the overnight, so a slight risk 2 on a 1 to 5 scale. For severe weather has been issued for just about the entire state of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southwestern Arkansas, northeastern Texas, and parts of Oklahoma as well. Now, everything shifts east tomorrow. The Storm Prediction Center outlook tomorrow does include, again, kind of a low-end severe weather risk for parts of Ohio. So Columbus, Dayton, down to Cincinnati. I'm not real impressed with the setup here in that region tomorrow, but could 1 or 2 storms maybe try to rotate? Maybe there's a low-end chance. Could you have a gusty breeze and a couple of those showers and storms that pass through? Yeah. And again, this is mostly, Columbus, the I-71 corridor down to Cincinnati. Will there be a rumble of thunder in northeast Ohio tomorrow night? I can't rule that out for sure, but I don't think severe weather is very likely here at all. Then for Saturday, the start of the weekend, the severe weather threat shifts east, so includes the I-95 corridor from D.C. down to Roanoke and Raleigh, heading down towards Jacksonville and northeastern Florida as well. Again, severe weather around here, not something we are concerned about, and it's going to be a fairly bright start to our Friday, but clouds will steadily increase as we go into the midday and afternoon on our Friday. And as the clouds increase, the rain chances will finally start to ramp up as we head into the evening. So maybe around or just after sunset Friday evening, some showers will probably push in. Now, will this be a big wall of rain that lasts all night into Saturday? No. In fact, I think showers will just kind of come and go on Saturday with several intervals of dry weather. In fact, the sun's going to try to come out from time to time on Saturday, but also the threat is there for a shower in some spots. I think the most numerous showers Saturday are probably later in the afternoon into the evening as this kind of secondary trough of low pressure pivots across. And notice there's a little blue on the map for Saturday night, first thing Sunday morning. Could Sunday start with a wet snow shower mixed with rain somewhere in northeast Ohio, northwest PA? Yeah, it's not going to stick to anything, but we may start with a couple of showers of rain or mixed precipitation. But look at all the clearing off to the west Sunday morning. That's going to work in by Sunday afternoon, and that should mean a pretty good-looking second half of the day on Sunday. Don't forget, you can get the hourly rain chances anytime on the Storm Tracker 21 app. Tap on hourly down at the bottom of the screen. And so those rain chances start to ramp up as we head towards sunset Friday evening. They stay on the lower end for a good chunk of the morning and midday Saturday, then start to ramp up again during the second half of the day and into the evening on our Saturday. Temperatures this weekend will be a little bit up and down. I think temperatures will actually fall Saturday afternoon. Midday high around 60. We'll be closer to the lower 50s towards 5 or 6 p.m. Saturday evening. Definitely jacket and sweater weather for those who may be still celebrating St. Patrick's Day Saturday evening. I know some people are going to make a long weekend out of it for sure. Sunday's temperature a little bit closer to average, but 52. Well, all of a sudden that sounds kind of chilly, right? That's still a few degrees warmer than average. And with plenty of sunshine and strong March sun second half of the day, it should be a pretty pleasant end to the weekend. All right, the Climate Prediction Center put out their updated long-range outlooks today. I forgot to change the banner up top. This is actually the April outlook. It says March, but this is April. And usually I'm in pretty good agreement on the overall thoughts from the Climate Prediction Center on these monthly outlooks, the seasonal outlooks. They're showing in April, odds are tilting in favor of a warmer than average month. I fall in the camp that April will be closer to average temperature-wise than March will end up being, and I guess I wouldn't be shocked if April ended up being somewhat cooler than average. It'll be interesting to see what CPC's outlook is as we get towards the very end of this month and they update their April forecast. I think this is a little bit ambitious with the amount of warmth around the Great Lakes and the East. Now, the way to decipher these maps, these are all probabilistic maps. This isn't saying it's going to be warm everywhere where there's orange. It means that the odds favor the month coming out on the wash as warmer than average rather than cooler than average. But it's no guarantee, and of course the deeper the reds, the higher chances of warmth outdueling cool weather. So, taken literally, their April outlook does not say, hey, it's going to be a super warm April. It just says, if you're a betting man or a woman, you place your chips down on it being at least, a tenth of a degree warmer than the average. That's kind of how you decipher those maps. It's kind of a probabilistic thing, but I do think the odds are pretty decent that we end up close to average or maybe even below average temperature wise. Now I do agree with what they have as we get into the longer range, and this is their 3-month precipitation outlook, April, May, June, so mid to late spring, early summer. Odds are favoring wetter than average conditions across our region, and I do think that is pretty reasonable because I think we're going to see La Nina continuing to be a driver in the pattern across the northern hemisphere as we go into the spring. Usually La Nina or El Nino kind of fades pretty quickly once we get out of winter. Maybe not so much this year, and if that's the case, then the overall precipitation patterns across the U.S. might resemble winter, which was wetter than average. Not necessarily snowier than average, even though we haven't closed the book on snow yet this year. As you know, it can snow into April and even early May around here, but the overall precipitation in winter was above average, and I kind of suspect that'll continue into spring and maybe even the first part of summer. Big concerns for a big drought this summer out across the middle of the country. That'll be a big national weather story. It looks like the west and the middle of the country, the Corn Belt, if you will, might have a pretty significant drought this summer. All right, that's it for me tonight. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you and yours, and I'll see you right back here with a weekend forecast update coming up, same time, same place on Friday.